He wasn't born a monster. The world forced him to become one. This is the tragic story of Frankenstein, but not the one you think, you know. It's not about a monster, but about the making of one. In a world alight with the fire of discovery, one scientist, Victor Frankenstein, dared to play God. Brilliant, ambitious, and obsessed with conquering death, he embarked on an experiment so audacious it would blur the lines between life and the abyss. He wanted to unlock the ultimate secret of nature itself. Working in secrecy, shrouded by the shadows of his laboratory, he began his unholy work. He scavenged for parts, piecing together a new form of man. He stitched together limbs, muscles, and flesh, crafting a being of immense size and strength, something powerful, but deeply unnatural. Then, on a dark and stormy night, amidst the fury of the elements, he did it. A flash of lightning, a surge of power, and he brought his creation to life. But when those yellow, watery eyes opened, Victor didn't see the triumph of science he had imagined. He saw a grotesque mockery of humanity. Overwhelmed by horror and disgust at his own success, he did the unthinkable. He ran. He abandoned his creation, leaving it nameless and alone in a world that wasn't ready for it. The creature, a newborn in an 8-foot body, was not a monster. He was a sentient being, filled with a child's wonder, but also a profound, aching loneliness. He felt the cold, the heat, and the sting of rejection. He wandered from the city into the vast wilderness, seeking refuge and understanding. He learned about the world by watching a family in a small cottage, feeling their love and kindness from a distance, a warmth he desperately craved but could never touch. He learned to read, to speak, to feel empathy. He was a gentle soul trapped in a terrifying shell, but his attempts to connect were always met with screams. Everywhere he went, people ran in terror. Doors were slammed in his face. Stones were thrown. He was judged solely by his appearance, his good heart invisible to a world blinded by fear. He wasn't born with malice. He was taught it, lesson by painful lesson. The world's cruelty slowly chipped away at his innocence, hardening his heart and planting a seed of bitterness. He was made a monster by the very people who claimed to be civilized. Driven by a desperate mix of sorrow and rage, the creature sought out the only person who could give him answers, his creator. He tracked Victor Frankenstein down, not initially for revenge, but for a simple, heartbreaking request. Make me a companion, someone like myself, so I am not forever alone. He wanted a partner to share his exile, to feel the touch of another who wouldn't recoil in horror. Victor, tormented by guilt but still repulsed, initially agreed. But the fear of creating a second demon, of spawning a race of monsters, consumed him. In a final, devastating act of betrayal, he destroyed the half-finished female creature, right before the monster's eyes. That was the moment the creature's hope died and his quest for vengeance was truly born. A wave of tragedy was unleashed. The monster, in his grief and fury, took everything from Victor, his brother, his best friend, his bride. The creator and his creation were now locked in a deadly dance of retribution, a chase that led them from the serene lakes of Geneva to the desolate, frozen wastelands of the Arctic. In the end, it was not the monster who delivered the final blow. Exhausted, broken, and consumed by his own obsession, Victor Frankenstein collapsed on the ice, his life extinguished by the very chase he had initiated. Finding his creator dead, the creature did not celebrate. He mourned. He wept over the body of the only being in the world who was bound to him, the man who gave him life and then condemned him to a living hell. With his purpose gone, the creature drifted away on an ice raft, vanishing into the polar mist, determined to end his own miserable existence. He was last seen drifting into the darkness, forever alone, forever a legend. The story of Frankenstein's monster isn't just a horror story. It's a timeless warning. It asks us, what are our responsibilities to the things we create? What happens when science outpaces compassion? And who, in the end, is the real monster? The creature born of stitched-together parts, or the society that refused to see the soul within? Thank you for watching. If this story made you think, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the classics.